Get set up here for just a second and then we will get started. Welcome everybody. I'm glad you're all here. It is our rapid fire, which I'll get into in just a second. Hopefully you watched the video we posted today. I thought it was a very good video for people raising quail and trying to make a profit, which I'll talk to in just a second as well. Okay, so it is rapid fire, so if you have any questions about raising Coturnix quail, hatching Coturnix quail, quail for profit, whatever the case may be, feel free to ask below. If you do have questions, please put a couple question marks or explanation points at the beginning and or at the end, so it's easier for me to read. Now we do a live on Sundays, and it's a community setting. I read all the comments, we hang out, and things like that. Mondays are strictly questions only. I will try to go as quickly as possible. So if you do have any, make sure you hit the question mark so I can read it. Hopefully you watched the video today that I posted. Linda did a fantastic job about the rule of three, and that's something that is very, very powerful when you're marketing and advertising. So make sure that you check that out if you haven't. And I've got a fantastic video for you on Friday as well. We'll be posting a video on Wednesday this week as well. But Friday is a really, really big one. Wednesday's cool too, so you can watch them both. And we do have, currently I think we have 6 tickets left for QuailCon. I will be changing that on Friday, but as of right now, there's only 6 tickets left. So if you're interested in coming to QuailCon, I'll be speaking. Whiskey Tango Farms will be here. George, which is my right hand, will be here. Verna Young, which is a moderator and admin on here, as well as Facebook groups. She'll be speaking. We've got MPIP talking about biosecurity and the avian influenza. We've got a feed expert, PhD doctor here. And we're going to have just a ton of great speakers, great experts, a lot of vendors. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing a dinner. And if you don't know what QuailCon is, make sure you check out the website, myshirefarm.com. There's a tab that says QuailCon 2022. That'll give you some information. You can also type in the YouTube search bar, QuailCon 2022. And I did an updated video on that just a few weeks ago, so you can check that out. And I think that is all. I'm sure I forgot something, but that was the majority of it. So we'll get started. Again, thank you very much, Ed Got Bait and Verna Young, for moderating on here. I appreciate it. We have a lot of great leaders in the community. Both of them are leaders in the community. We have a ton of Facebook groups that have a ton of admins and moderators that really have a desire to help and educate and encourage. And that is what our motto is here, is to educate, encourage, and enthuse others to become more self-sufficient. And we specialize in Coturnix quail. So if you have any questions, hit the question button and make the comment, and let's get started. Again, I won't be reading all the comments, just ones that are questions tonight, because it's supposed to be rapid fire, but I've kind of already wasted 4 minutes of your time. So we're going to get going. Here we go. Tanya's in the house. Oh, you tricked me. Excitedly waiting from Central Texas. QuailCon, 40 days to go. Oh, that stresses me out. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Dr. Connie's in the house from Florida with the dry hatch. Thank you for saying last night to increase temp half degree. At lockdown, I'll still need to add water and increase humidity. Yes, you'll still increase humidity at lockdown. But when you do a dry hatch, it's not 99.5, it's 100 the entire time in degrees. With the current humidity at 50%, should I delay lockdown a day or two? No, just do it normal. The only difference in a dry to a regular incubation process is you're not adding water the first 14, 15 days, and then you're increasing your temp a half degree the entire time. But lockdown is the same deal. You're going to keep your temp at 100 and then just increase your humidity. Adrian says, Dr. Kennedy, I think you should I don't think you should delay lockdown. That is correct. Adrian, correct. Also correct. Nope, you're spot on, Adrian. Good job. Carrot Top is in the house. Welcome. Jesse Mills, welcome. Leslie says, "Hello, good evening. Eggs went in the 21st. What day do I candle? Do I only candle once at lockdown, or can you candle more than once with chickens? We usually can candle about 6 to 7 days for good ones. Quail are a little bit different. If this is your first time hatching, I really don't recommend you candling at all. I just let the whole process go. And it's kind of a learning process because quail are a little bit different than chickens. So what I would recommend if this is your first time is let them go until lockdown. If you do want to candle, that's when you candle. So when you're putting them into lockdown is when you would candle. If you do day 6 or 7, all the quail are going to look not developed. I mean, it's just really hard to see in there. So if you're going to do it on day 14 or 15 whenever you're putting them into lockdown. I am so sorry. Oh. But if you're hatching for the first time quail, what I would recommend is you just put them straight into lockdown, increase the temp, let them go, and then after the hatch, candle the ones that did not develop or did not hatch, and then kind of learn like what you're looking for. Oh, okay, well I can see this one died in the shell, or this one didn't develop at all, or this one has a blood ring, which means it usually dies around day whatever, and kind of get used to it first. Or you could candle and separate at lockdown the ones you think are developed and the ones that you don't, and try to work on that. But it is a little bit trickier than chickens. The Bacon is in the house. Best name in the world. Welcome. Woman of Spirits in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Adrian says, how high can humidity go at lockdown? 85% on day 19 or 20. Will this drown the chicks that have hatched? I wouldn't do 85. I really like the 75% mark. I wouldn't recommend going above 75. I mean, ours will hit because we keep ours at 75 after a few days. And so it might go up to 77, 78, but it comes back down. Not that big of a deal, but 85 is pretty high. They'll drown in the eggs. JP says, I'm interested in ordering live quail, but almost everyone is not shipping. Anyone knows where I can order and have them shipped to California? We will start shipping live quail again 8/1, August 1st. They'll be back on the website, which is next week. Whew, got a lot to do. Katrina's Corner's in the house. Are you noticing a drop in fertility due to the heat? My last hatch for my eggs, I got only 50%. No, we actually had the past 4 hatches have been ridiculous here, too many. But we also switched out our males a month and a half ago. I'm not a big. The heat really doesn't affect our quail at all. Now 2 weeks ago it got up to 102, 103 degrees. They did fine, but our fertility is still pretty strong. I don't think it would be the heat. If your males are over 6 months old, that could have something to do with it as well. JP, due to influenza. Oh, the AI, yeah. Yeah, we stopped shipping due to the avian influenza outbreak, but we just got, we got approval that we can start shipping again. It's cleared up some. There's still some cases, but it's much more controlled now. Migration season's over, so it's going to lessen even more than that. And we get tested once every 90 days. So we're good to go. And so 8/1 we'll start shipping again August 1st. The Bacon says, I'm trying to get into quail, but I don't have any eggs. Check out our website, myshirefarm.com. It's good to learn some things before you get started, though. Just a little base, so that it's a good thing you're here. I'm glad you're here. Prisk is in the house. Is it normal for the styrofoam type incubators to lose humidity throughout the day? Yes. I set my egg Sunday and the temp stays around 99.7 to 100. Thanks for the hatching magnet. It is helpful. Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. I think you're one of the only people that have mentioned that, and I thought it was a ridiculously good idea. Not a lot of people care about it, I guess, but I'm glad you do. That's wonderful to hear. And yes, the styrofoams can, they don't actually seal all the way. The best thing to do with temp and humidity in the styrofoams is just wrap the sides with it with like a towel or a blanket. That'll help insulate it and keep it at the same temperature. So that would be a good practice for you. And Walker's in the house. Thank you for my first birds. I just hatched my own eggs. Awesome. Congratulations. So the males you sent are doing their job. I like to hear that. Congratulations. And that's a huge accomplishment. Cool. The Quail guys in the house, welcome. Glad you're here. Trying to find the questions. I'm sorry. There we go. JDT says, do you know if Bob White quail grow at the same speed as Coturnix quail? They do not. Or do they take longer to mature and grow at the same rate? They... I'm not exactly sure about that answer, to be honest with you. They definitely take longer to mature. God, I haven't had Bob Whites in 11 years. I still don't think that they grow as fast. I mean, I know that the egg laying production is way behind. I don't think they grow as fast either, but I don't know that for sure. Hey, I love your videos. Thank you very much, Quail Guy. I appreciate it. Hopefully you watched the one today from Linda. She did a fantastic job. I did a video on Quail for Profit, and I talked about, ask why 3 times and the rule of 3 in marketing and advertising. And then she was kind of talking to me, and she was just communicating it and verbalizing it in such a better way than what I was. And I was like, huh. Let's do that. That would help people. So hopefully you check that video out. I thought it was great. What protein percent do you feed your quail? 17%, I think it is. If you type in the YouTube search bar, feed by Myshire Farm, it'll actually come up with a video at the top that has a Klombach bag on it. We go into what we feed our quail, but we do that so that you can kind of take that information, look at the label that I show you. You can take that to your local feed store, your Tractor Supply, whatever, and match that up the best you can. I do have a couple of people that take a screenshot of the label that I show you on there, and they take it to a local feed store, and there's a few people that customize it in their local area as well. I'm hoping, because they will be here for QuailCon, I'm hoping that they see such a big turnout and so much enthusiasm that I can finally convince them to start stocking it in places. Because Klombach is, it has distribution to go to all states. I just think that they are in the mindset that quail is still a small category. So hopefully we can change their mind and you can start getting that Klombach feed. But that's a bunch of ifs. I've noticed my quail hatch on day 17 and 18. Anything more than that seem to be more fragile. Is this common? Yeah. Mainly they'll start to hatch on, ideally, in an ideal situation, they'll start hatching on day 16. You'll get a massive hatch on day 17. You'll get a good hatch on day 18, and then you'll have some stragglers. That is why we stagger our humidity. So I say between 65 and 75% because it's just easier. But what we actually do here is the first day of lockdown is 65, the second day of lockdown is 70, the third is 75%, and then we keep it at 75% until we turn the incubator off. I have got something in my throat, and I'm so sorry. I had WD-40 in my hand, and I was bringing it up to the house, and then I saw something that needed it, and so I used it, And then I got up to the house and I had it in my hand and I forgot why I had it. So then I put it away and now I remember why I needed it. I was going to do it on my chair. So that's a bummer. JDT says also, how many days should I wait for the rest of the eggs to hatch after day 19 if eggs haven't hatched out? We're developing. So because you're getting started, what I would recommend is increase your humidity to 75% and leave them going for about 48 to 72 more hours. It's not going to hurt anything. Once you get fully established, you don't really need to do that anymore. But just getting started or within your first couple of years, I'd let them go until like day 21. But I would increase that humidity because if you're going to get any more to hatch, you need them to hatch quickly. So I'd push that humidity up a lot. In case you're joining us now, if you do have any questions, if you could do me a favor and hit a couple question marks at the beginning and or at the end or exclamation points, something where it sticks out so I can see it a little bit better. Lost my spot. Thanks, Zach. Roosters are 4 to 5 months. Good foam, 1 to 5 ratio, 3 groups, all lower fertility. Guess I need to replace the males. Four to 5 months, 1 to 5 ratio. If they're in the cage the whole time, and before you replace, I'd give them some rooster booster. I'd just give them a boost of energy and probably put some electrolytes in there, either Save a Chick or the electrolytes that Murray McMurray. You can buy it on their website, but they actually formulate and make that. I throw some electrolytes in the water, some rooster booster in the feed, and give it about a week and a half to 2 weeks and see if that fixes it. The Quail guy says, what humidity and temperature do I need for hatching? We actually have a hatching process playlist on our YouTube channel that you can check out. But, Ed actually posted the link underneath that. Thanks. But long story short, if you're dry hatching, which pretty much means you're not adding any water for humidity, you're not controlling the humidity at all for the incubation process. For dry hatch, it's 100 degrees until lockdown, and then between 65 and 75% humidity at lockdown with 100-degree temp. Now, if you're doing a normal, regular incubation process, which is what we do here, it's 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit for the entire time, lockdown and incubation. And then incubation, I like it to be around 40 to 45%. And then at lockdown, we bump it up from 65 to 75%. Misty's in the house. Do quail require game feed? They do not. I would look at, like, for starter growers, you could do a turkey layer or a turkey starter, a broiler starter, anything that's high protein, preferably a crumble. But no, they're really not picky. When we started out just raising quail for us, we did a turkey starter because it was like 28% protein, and we had it in the crumble. And then we just did a general all-purpose layer feed. We did that for years until we started getting into the business and wanting to have better, the way we look at it now is these are not our quail, these are your quail or our customers' quail, and we're just taking care of them for you. So we kind of go above and beyond as far as what we need to feed them, how we feed them, how we take care of them, things like that. So we customize our layer feed because that's pretty important to us to get maximum production. But our growers, our chicks, we actually put them on a pheasant starter. It's high in protein. It's easily comes in a crumble, and that works great for us. Adventure Frogs in the house. Hey Zach, I ended up hatching 40 out of the 50 from my order. Next time I'll do better. 40 out of 50 is not too bad. Congratulations. Adventure Frog, if you're still on, if you could let me know what kind of eggs you ordered, I'd greatly appreciate it. But that's a great hatch. Congratulations. 5-year plans in the house. Just finished collecting eggs for the last 7 days. They will go into the incubator tomorrow. These will be my first quail from my own flock. Thanks for the help along the way. Well, congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment. So pat yourself on the back. And I wish you all the best. I hope you get 100% hatch. Good luck. Jennifer Myers is in the house. I've been hatching and breeding out of eggs I got from Myshire for over a year. When should I start thinking of new genetics? About 2 years, 2 more years. You don't have to worry about it anytime soon. We do things a little bit differently here. Some people don't like it, some people do. Works for us. This is what I like. Yeah, we don't inbreed. And we switch things around a lot. So you're not going to get the same mom. So there's really no chance of inbreeding, and typically that takes at least 3 years before you start seeing anything. Inbreeding's not horrible for Coturnix quail, but if you're concerned about it, the rule of thumb is 3 years, so you're doing fine. Mimi Cleveland's in the house. Hey, Zach, great topic. Quail feed. Looking for affordable, high-quality feed. So excited to be able to attend QuailCon, counting down the days. I am very excited about QuailCon. I think it's going to be a great time. If you're coming to QuailCon and you have any questions about it, feel free to ask tonight as well. But it's going to be a great 2-day event. I'm really excited about it. We're going to blow it up this year. Looking for affordable, high-quality feed. Yeah, so he'll be here. They're actually going to be selling feed and bee supplies on Saturday. I don't know if they're going to have their setup on Sunday because they're actually speaking as well. So it might just be Saturday. I would assume they're going to come both days. Well, I mean, I know they're going to come both days because one day they're vending and one day they're speaking. But yeah, I mean, they'll be able to answer a bunch of questions. They're going to be doing a talk. It's going to be great. I think everybody's going to learn a lot. Steven's in the house, and in order to prepare for the coming winter, I'm in the stage of choosing the water system. I'm going to build from Coturnix Corner's video 5-gallon bucket cup system, how to prepare for winter freezing. I don't know what setup you're doing. I mean, I get the bucket system, but I don't know exactly the setup you're talking about. But we really don't have issues with freezing, but we've got mild winters here, and ours are all indoors and well insulated. But back in the day, when we started, we actually put just a cow water defroster in there in the 5-gallon bucket. Some people don't like to do that. You could do a bubbler, like a fish tank bubbler where, the water won't freeze. You could do that as well. I was never too worried about it, but we just put the cow water in there. But I mean, we've got the cow water defroster. So we have a water defroster for the pigs and for the cows and for the, we had one for the quail, for the goats, for the emus. Like, I just use those constantly. And out of all of them, I think I've had to replace 2 in like 12 years. And they're pretty cheap. I think they're like $20. So I would look into that. Lisa Plays for Life is in the house. Welcome, glad you're here. Our permaculture in the house. I use the XM18D controller. It has high and low temp alarms over temp fan control. Also monitors humidity, and I use terrarium fogger to control humidity. It's a good idea. There you go. I did answer that one. Game feed is not required for quail. Game feed is actually not really something you would want to go with. And let me tell you why. Almost all game birds are seasonal layers. So that's what the feed is made for. It's formulated for a seasonal layer. So you really want to get something like an all-purpose layer, an egg-laying chicken layer, preferably a crumble, but something that is formulated where it's year-round laying, not seasonal. How much eggs do quail lay a day? They typically lay about an egg a day. They lay about 300 eggs a year. Each quail will lay about 300 eggs a year. Katrina is in the house from Gilroy, California, listening today on my phone while working in the yard. Well, thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Quail tacos for dinner tomorrow. There you go. That sounds good. Doreen Brown is in the house. We are getting our first group of quail, 4 weeks old. 20 of them. Congratulations. They will be in an aviary. Do you have any words of wisdom for a newbie? P.S. Thanks for all your videos. Well, thanks for showing up, and thanks for asking, and thanks for watching the videos. Yeah, predator proof would probably be the most important that you want to look at. You want to make sure that it's predator proof. The second is you do want them to have kind of a small confined area where they can get out of the elements, rain, snow, sleet, wind, whatever the case may be. And when they feel threatened, such as bad weather or when predators are, pacing or whatever, they need to feel that they can get close together. So my biggest tip I could give you is predator proof. And when you're making a little, box for them to get in, you kind of want to make it small. I mean, I've seen people that just put like a lean-to, just a piece of cardboard and screw it into the aviary. That works for chickens. It really doesn't work for quail because they need to feel contained. So they like to feel close to each other. So I would put, a small little box where they could all fit in there for a short amount of time and feel like each one has their back. Linda Easton Waller's in the house. Linda, thank you very much for the video you did for us. I thought it was fantastic. I know I've told you that 100 times, but it really was really good. So thank you very much. Ellen's Edge is in the house. How can you tell which hens produce and which hens don't? Well, you can look at the vents, and you'll be able to tell which ones are laying and which ones aren't with the vents. But typically, you just have to separate. You put one in a cage and see if it lays the next day, and if it does, then you put the second one in the cage and see if you get 2 eggs that next day, and so on and so forth. But without doing all that, you can look at the vents and be able to tell if they're laying or not. They lay 300 eggs a year, about five eggs a week, 5 to 6 eggs a week. RK says, have you selected a favorite incubator for the 1800 program? I'm still doing some research on that, but I have been sending them the Nurturite 360. I don't necessarily know if it's my favorite, but I think that it's the easiest to start with and the easiest to control. I do think that you have to manipulate it, but I do think that it's a good starter one for sure. But I haven't fully made up my mind yet. Witch Doctor's in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Dr. Connie says the hog roast sounds like a great idea. Yeah, so for QuailCon, I mentioned, I think last week, I haven't actually done the video on it yet, but we built a smoke pit and we tested it out with one of our hogs, and it was a huge success. It was awesome. We're actually going to be doing a video about that this week to show you the process. And so at QuailCon for the dinner, we're going to have a hog roast and grilled quail, a couple of sides and things like that. So I think it's going to be a good time. I think I'll enjoy it a lot. Thomas says, what color of quail do you sell the most of? Well, jumbo wilds, all jumbos. Half my barn is just jumbos. And we still are on a massive weight. As far as the colors go, I would probably say that our feather sexable mix is first, our variety choice is second. But as far as a one color goes, Probably this year it's been either gold, probably golds. Yeah, for sure golds. Second would be fab fees, would be our two biggest. But they're all real. I mean, there's like 10 to 12 of them that are real close together. Jameson's in the house. I live in South Alabama with relatively high humidity at the moment. Should I wet or dry hatch? You get pretty humid in Alabama. I would try a dry hatch if I were you. Yeah, I do a dry hatch at this time of the year. I probably wouldn't do that in fall or winter or spring, but if you're hatching out in summer, I'd probably do a dry hatch. It's a good question. Adventure Frog says Jumbo Egyptians. Thank you very much. 63922. Awesome. Where are you at? There you go. That's great. 40 out of 50 hatched from Egyptians. Good job. Congratulations. Steven's in the house. Welcome. The Quail guy says, how big of a brooder do you need for 7 quail? 2 square feet, 1 by 1. Not a lot. What we recommend is 6 chicks per square foot for the first 3 weeks, and then you move them to 3 quail per square foot after that. Joe's in the house. Brooder floor wire, quarter or half? Half. Quarter will be a disaster for you in the long run. The poop just won't go through it, so 1/2 inch. I know you have a video on it, but it's easy just asking. Plus, I'm old and forget easily. Secondly, eggs and more eggs. I can eat and hatch only so many. What to do? I hear what you're saying. Buy more eggs. No, you want to do 1/2 inch. We tried the 1/4 inch when we first started, and after a while, the poop just builds up. Doesn't go through all the way. 1/2 inch is much better for the brooder. 1/2 by 1/2. We do 1 by 1/2 on the cages in the main barn, and I'm very happy with the results on that. Yud P's in the house. I'm new to the quail game. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. So how long till you can start collecting eggs from hatching with the first batch? Typically, they start laying at about 5 to 6 weeks old. So 5 to 6 weeks. Myshire Farm's in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. I forgot to send you that picture. Crap. Sorry. I'll try to remember to do that tomorrow for you, Myshire Farm. Cherish Lorenzo's in the house. Thanks, Zach. Your enthusiasm for quail convinced us to give it a try. Thank you. While these little buggers are delish, tried our first ones this weekend. We hatched and raised here on our homestead. We have mixed jumbos. What is the best age to process for maximum rate to feed ratio? That is a fantastic question. But before I mention that, I just want to say that congratulations on hatching them out, trying them out. They are delicious, and it sounds like you're doing great. So congratulations. That's really, really exciting to hear. I process at 8. So you'll hear different things. I don't know if there's a wrong way to raise the quail in that aspect. So you can hear anywhere from 6 to 10 weeks on the majority of the time. Now, when we started for years and years and years, I mean, that was just what you did was, full maturity is 10 weeks old. You butcher at 10 weeks old. I get it. We started experimenting, and at 8 weeks old, they really don't gain that much weight, especially compared to the feed ratio from 8 to 10 weeks. So we butcher at 8 weeks. We do lose a little bit of meat, but it's more cost effective as far as the feed, the time to take care of them, things like that goes. So we butcher at 8. It's a great question. And Walker says, are your fab fee steel or tan color birds same weight as the wilds? Same weights as the wild. Are your fab fee steel or tan color? You can get either one. Most would probably come out, most come out steel, but you can get either one from them. And no, they are not the same weights as the wilds. Our jumbo wilds are like top of the line weight. Our jumbo whites are right below that by less than an ounce, but then it drops off dramatically. So yeah, fab fees are one of the largest in non-jumbo, but they're not considered jumbo. Eliza Plays for Life says, how long can quail live? Years and years, like 4 years. In fact, we had somebody on the live last night that said that she had purchased from us 3 years ago, and those hens are still laying. So she's doing a fantastic job. Donald Groom says, what is your best recommendation to take our own quail eggs to incubate for my quail? What is your best recommendation to take our own quail eggs to incubate? I don't know if I understand the question. I think you're saying that you're raising quail, you have the quail eggs, just collect them in the incubator tray, collect for a week, 7 days, and then put them in. 7 days or less, you're not affecting the fertility at all. From day 7 to 10, you're affecting the fertility maybe 5% at the most, not a lot, not that big a deal. But 7 days is ideal. So just collect them for 7 days and put them on in. Store them at room temperature, not a big deal. And I'd just keep them in the tray. Psycho War 360s in the house. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone out there in quail land. Welcome. Glad you're here. I do want to go back. Somebody asked, how long do quail live? So, typically, male's productive lifespan is about 9 months, and then it starts decreasing. Now, they can live for years and years and years, but their productive lifespan is about 9 months. The hen's lifespan, again, they can lay for years and years and years, but on average, it's about a year and a half is typically what it is. We switch our males out every 6 months, and we switch our hens out once a year, just because we ship so many eggs to all kinds of people all over the U.S. So we need to, have higher standards. But if you're raising for yourself, selling a couple on the side, or just giving them to friends and family, whatever the case may be, typically a year and a half to switch out your hens for productiveness, and about once a year for your males. Andrew says, I purchased 75 eggs. I received 90. That is awesome. I had 7 hatch. I reached out, and they asked 0 questions. They immediately told me my humidity off, and I made mistakes. 0 questions. I purchased 75 eggs. I received 90. That is awesome. I had 7 hatch. I reached out, and they asked 0 questions. They immediately told me my humidity off, and I make mistakes. 0 questions. I don't know exactly what I would just contact the breeder, and maybe there was maybe there was a communication misunderstanding. I don't know. I would just contact the breeder again, and just maybe you ask the questions. Don't know. I'm sorry. Witch Doctor says, how much black soldier fly larva can the quail eat? What would the ratio be, larva to crumble? That is a great question. I do not know that answer. Black soldier fly larva is very high in protein, so they can have too much of it, but I don't know what those ratios are. Sorry. The quail guy says, I tried raising quail. Mine died. I don't have any. You'll have to get back into it and try again. We've got a bunch of videos to help you on your journey. PJ's Family Farm says, hello all. Just got in from the chores. Welcome. We're glad you're here. William Sloan says, at what age do you start mixing starter with layer? For the jumbos, we do at the beginning of week 9 through that week, so that they're on the layer feed at the beginning of week 10. For our colors, it is the beginning of week 7 through that week so that they're on the layer feed strictly by week 8. Pretty sure I said that correctly. How long does it take them to grow up? Sorry, I'm new to quail. Well, that's why we're here. So ask your questions. No reason to apologize. So they hatch out. This is what's amazing about quail. They hatch out, and from day 1 chick to laying an egg is about 5 to 6 weeks. They're fully mature at 10 weeks, but you've already been producing eggs at 5 to 6 weeks, and they're ready to butcher at about 8 weeks. So a very, very fast turnaround. They grow fast. Chris P's in the house. When can I expect the eggs? You would have to send me your order number and I could look it up for you. I've got a lot of orders. But I can get you an ETA. You'll just need to text me. My phone number's on the website. You might have it. Jennifer says, do you know if your book has any recipes on canning quail? That would be a question for Vern. Oh, nope, she already answered you. The quail guy says, can quail live outside at full grown without a heat lamp? Yeah, absolutely. You can put them outside. Typically in summer, the end of spring and the beginning of fall, you can put them outside anywhere between 2 and 3 weeks old. Let me back up. I don't want to say that. For summer, you can put them outside without heat at 3 weeks old. Any other time, you typically want to keep the heat on them until about they're 4 weeks old, and then you can put them outside. But technically, they're fully feathered at 3 weeks old. Lyle says, I am waiting to set eggs at different times, and I only have one incubator. Will it affect my other eggs when I up my humidity is during the lockdown? Not that much. You should be fine. Lockdown's only for a few days. You should be okay. I probably wouldn't go all the way up to 75%. I'd probably just go up to 65% in the lockdown, and you should be fine. Connell Groom says, thank you. That is, I'm glad that I was able to answer. Great. William is in the house. At what age do you swap to 100% layer? So I give them a transition for 1 full week. So for jumbos, at the beginning of week 9 to the end of week 9, we do half and half, so that when they're fully 10 weeks old, they're on layer feed. And that's for jumbos. For the standards, we do the same process, only it's the beginning of week 7 to the end of week 7, so that at the beginning of 8 weeks, they are fully on a layer feed. Andrew's in the house. You were the breeder. I don't know what that means, sorry. Yud P says, what kind of veggie you can feed quail? Really anything, just nothing citrus. But yeah, any veggie will do. They love cucumber, but they're really not picky. They really like watermelon, zucchini, squash, cut up apples, lettuce. They don't care. They just like it. They just like to eat. It's a good question. Just nothing citrus. Tammy's in the house. Can quail eat pellets or just crumble? Adults can eat pellets. We fed them pellets for a long time. They did fine. We did see a lower death rate and a higher production when we weren't using the pellets, but it wasn't massive. It wasn't massive. The chicks really shouldn't do the pellets. They can in a pinch, but it's not ideal. Crumble is better. Crumble would be ideal. The quail guy says, at what age can quail fly at? Coturnix quail really don't fly. They're more glorified jumpers, but they're not really, they've just been too domesticated throughout the years. Chris P says, how many weeks before I get delivered eggs? It really depends on what you order. If you order anything huh. If you order jumbo Egyptians, jumbo wilds, jumbo white wings, or jumbo mixes, you're looking at about a 14-week time frame. If you order jumbo whites or anything else, you're looking about a week. Samantha says, how long is shipping for jumbos? Jumbo whites are about a week out, maybe 10 days. And then jumbo Egyptians, jumbo white wings, and jumbo wilds are 14 weeks out. Jumbo mix and jumbo sex links are about 5 weeks out. Katrina says, I did a video on canning quail on my YouTube channel, Sow and Tear. There you go. Check that out. Somebody asked about that. Boston Bruins is in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Boston Bruins says, is it common for males to try breeding other males? It is common, yes. I don't know I didn't read it. Eliza Plays for Life says, how much do feed you a day if you have 5 quail? Not very much. I actually have, if you type into the YouTube search bar, Quail Math by Myshire Farm, I actually do a video and it shows you how much they eat per day, and how much it costs per egg. So you can watch that, but it's Quail Math by Myshire Farm, but I don't know the number off the top of my head. Do you still need a nesting box? Nope. They won't go well, they could go broody. It's pretty rare that they do. So no, you don't need a nesting box. And Chris P, yeah, if you ordered eggs, feel free to text me just the order number and I can get you an ETA. That doesn't take me too long at all. S.O. Swanson in the house, Mississippi in the house, welcome. Carrot Top says, how long does a molt normally take? It really varies on your situation, the environment, a lot of factors, but typically it could take up to a month. Usually about 2 weeks on average. But it could take up to a month. But it really depends on how much light they're getting, if they're inside or outside, how old they are, what kind of feed they're on. I mean, there's a lot of factors. But just generalization, 2 weeks. But it could take longer. That looks like all the questions. So if you have any other questions, ask real quick. I'll wait around for just a second. Make sure you check out the video we posted today. Linda did a fantastic job of talking about the rule of 3. I thought that was great. We're going to have another video coming out this week about the hog roast and how we built that. That's a lot of fun. And then on Friday, we've got a massive video for you, a great video, and I really hope you take a look at that. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon for notifications, because you will not want to miss the video we're posting on Friday at least. So I'll answer the rest of the questions, and then we will get out of here. What is creating this high number of orders? We are pretty good at what we do. We've got pretty good quality, so that helps. I think the way the world is going, I think people getting into self-sufficiency, I think homesteaders adding on, I think people just getting started. I think there's a lot of factors into that. A lot of factors. Tammy says, do you prefer a ceramic heat lamp over a heat plate for quail? I would prefer a ceramic heat lamp over a heat plate. Not a big fan of the heat plates. I'm not a big fan of the heat plates. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just not for me. Some people swear by them. I think everybody raises quail a little bit differently, and that is completely okay. But I don't like the heat plates. The Blazing Bee says, when do they start molting? At a certain age or time of the year? That kind of varies about environment as well. Typically at about 9 months. Usually they'll do it one time in the first year, twice in the second year. But again, it really varies on what you're doing. Sorry. Yeah, it says, I got a heavy-duty Myshire Edition cage from Wynola Ranch. How much that cage can hold? I think that cage can hold up to like... I think it's somewhere like 24. I don't remember, though. I recommend 3 quail per square foot. So that should help. I don't remember the dimensions on that cage, though. It's really nice. Boston Bruin says, hey, Zach, the quail I got from you is going into lockdown Wednesday. Awesome. Good luck. And obviously, keep me posted. S.O. Swanson says, love the rule of 3 from Linda. She's so helpful. Yeah, she really was. She was great. I can't wait for you guys to watch a video on Friday, so stay tuned for that. Robin says, Zach, Andrew Thompson had the poor hatch rate. You told him to contact the breeder. He said Myshire was. Then contact me again. I don't know. I don't remember that. But you can feel free to contact me again. Have you tried Barnyard Bees beetle traps? I have not. I've not even heard of those. Interesting. I'll have to look that up. I will look that up. PJ's Family Farm says, so glad you're posting videos again. I had a lot of stuff to get done. But we're getting caught up. Steven says, very cool. Thanks for your time. Very nice community here. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for showing up. And hopefully we'll see you again. Katrina says, I use heat plates and they work great. You do have to use it the correct environment, no less than 50-degree ambient temperature. Yeah, and I'm not saying, I mean, they're fine. They're not for me. But I do massive hatches. You know, like we hatched out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we hatched out 700 chicks today. We probably will get about another 200 tomorrow. And then we hatched out 600 last week. So I do real big hatches. So the heat plates just wouldn't work for me at all. Lisa says, thank you for the stream. I loved it. Well, thanks for showing up and asking the questions. I appreciate it. Tanya says, see you all in 40 days. Absolutely. Crispy says, don't be giving out his personal information like that. Don't give out his... it's on the website. I'm pretty open in that manner. Thomas says, thanks for all the knowledge you share. Not a problem. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Dr. Connie says, with water and feed troughs outside of the cage. What? Oh, the cage is 4.5 square feet, so 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, so about 14. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for showing up. I appreciate it. Linda, Robin, PJ's Family Farm, The Blazing Bee, Tammy Ross, and Katrina, Ed Got Bait. Thank you all for showing up. I appreciate it. We had a lot of good questions tonight. If you have any other questions, we will be back live next Sunday. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, we will be back next Sunday for a live Q&A at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The week after that, we're actually celebrating my birthday early because QuailCon's coming up. And so I was told that we're going out of town, but I think I'll be back that Sunday, so I don't think that'll be a problem. But I don't know what we're doing or where we're going, so that's a little scary. But I'll get over it. So I'm not too sure about that. Anything? Oh, here's something new. I forgot. So I put a super on my beehive today because they are running out of room, which is fantastic. And it was the first time that I got stung. And I'm pretty sure I've never been stung before in my life. And it was right on my ankle, and wow, that'll wake you up. Not that you cared, but I just felt it. It hurt. So I think that is it. Everybody's saying thank you very much and good night. So everybody, thank you very much. Remember, we've got a cool video coming out Wednesday. I don't know what today is Monday, so we have a cool video coming out on Wednesday, and then Friday's a really big video. I will be doing auctions again on our Facebook group this weekend. It's the Myshire Farm Quail Egg Auctions. We had a lot of fun last weekend. I'll be doing that Saturday from 1 to 3. I don't think I'll be doing Sunday because I would rather do YouTube videos for the week to get caught up a little bit, but we'll see. Maybe I can find more time in the day. I don't know. Maybe. So thank you very, very much, and everybody have a great night. Did it hurt as bad as the bee stings last year around the pond? Those were hornets, and no, but when I got stung around the pond, I was weed eating the pond before QuailCon and stepped on a hornet's nest, and I got, what was it, like 21 stings? Like, they're vicious creatures, and they deserve to all die horrible deaths. They're gone now, but that was a lot. That was a lot. But no, the bee sting hurt a lot, but I think it was just in the right. It's in that real soft ankle spot. Like, it got me in the right spot. I deserved it. I was fumbling around and knocking it, and it wasn't dusk, and I mean, I was asking for it. It was my fault. I wasn't stealing their honey. I was actually giving them another hive. I was putting another super on there so that they could make more honey. I was trying to be helpful. Whew. How do you stop quail from stinking? Yeah, it's not possible. You can confine it, good circulation, cleaning out the cages, putting some, bedding or sawdust on top of the quail poop tray, so that they can drop into that will help a little bit. Keeping everything clean, again, great circulation. That'll help a lot, but I mean, it gets stuffy real quick for sure. It's actually on Facebook. The auction group is on Facebook, and it's called the Myshire Farm Quail Egg Auctions on Facebook. I figured you meant me, not bed. Bees are preppers. They only eat the honey when they run out of food. Yeah, so there's 2 deeps, and now there's 2 supers on there. But they're being ridiculous. I got a hive the same time that Dennis, Papa the Builder, got a hive in his little area. And my bees are twice the size, and his has not even started waxing his super. And mine is completely full. I had to put an extra one on. So I don't know if he's got like bee mites, or I don't know what's going on over there, but I told him that he's not allowed around my bees. That's what I told him. So So yeah, we're gonna have great honey. We should have enough honey for the year, actually, and we'll be doing that. I think you do that the end of August, so I'll probably do it right after QuailCon. I don't think I'll get to it before QuailCon. I've got a lot to do before QuailCon, guys. So, all right, I wasted enough of your time. Thank you very, very much for showing up. I really appreciate it. Thanks for asking all the questions. We've got some good videos coming for you this week, and I will be back next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on our YouTube channel for a live Q&A to help you on your journey. Make sure you spread the word and let other people know where they can learn more about Quail. And until next time, as always, everybody, stay safe.